Alright, we're back with another raw car value video for you guys. And this time I got a message from Ramon Marsman and he asked me if I could help him out with his problem or the bottleneck that he's currently running into. Now, I have asked this a couple of times in the past in the videos. Now, if you want to do the same thing, I really do look at the comments. And if you have a bottleneck, which I have experience with, which I can solve, I'll literally make a video just for you to fix it. And then other people who are running into the same problem can also fix it. So what is his problem? He told me that he is unsure how to build a team, how to properly outsource things. He feels like he's stuck inside of the delivery. He feels like when he does sales and client acquisition, the people really want him to be in the delivery as well. And he wants to know how to get out of this whole rat race that he got himself into to be able to actually grow his business. So that's what we'll be running into and what we'll be talking about today. So step one is very simple. We're going to map out the customer journey and the company journey. Now, what is that? If you want a more like visualized view of what this looks like, I have more in-depth videos about this on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. But in short, in a simple way to explain it, what you do is you go to Miro or Figma charts. That's what I would recommend. You can also use paper or a whiteboard, but I would go Miro or Figma charts and map out every single step that your customer goes through from the moment they do not know you all the way until they do their last little bit of contact inside of the delivery. So that means that, let's say you're doing cold outbound, the first moment, like the first email you send, the first moment you call them, the first message you send, the first whatever, that is the first step. And then there's follow-ups, there is an actual sales call, there's a follow-up on a sales call, there's the moment they sign the contract, there's the onboarding call, there's the first report, there's whatever, all the steps that a customer has, all the touch point that a customer has with you or your business, you're gonna write them down one by one in detail. Okay? Then you also do the same thing from the company perspective of things. So that means basically the exact same thing, but every step your company takes in order to further help your customer along the way, right? So you map these two journeys out, the customer journey and the company journey. Step two is, first of all, before we do anything, we're trying to look into the processes and systems that you already have, and we're going to make them simpler. Okay, so we're going to simplify the whole thing. If you have anything that a machine can do, a software can take care of, or that you can automate, do that first. If there's any unnecessary steps right now inside of your company journey, get rid of those. If you have too many touch points which are unneeded, or your touch points with your customer are too elaborate, you get rid of those or you simplify those. That's the first thing you do, right? So that's when step one, step two, and then step three is you mark every single part of the processes we just mapped out, and you write where you are the responsible person. Now, for you, you are probably the actual like responsible person in almost every single part of the business because you're not as big just yet. And that's fine. So that's basically what we do first. We mark every single spot where we are stuck and where we are responsible in the business. Now we lay those out, we make a list of the things that are easiest to do, so that require the least amount of skills and that take the most amount of time for you right now. Now, why do we do this? Because we want to get as much time back as quickly as possible. If you are going to let other people do certain tasks that are like require a ton of skill, that's going to be expensive and it's going to be hard for them to actually properly do those tasks and take on those responsibilities. So we want to start with the simple stuff first. Now, don't get confused. A sales call or like calling outbound, those are perfect examples. This is stuff that costs a lot of time, and obviously there's some skill required, but we can systemize a big part of it. And sales is a pretty common skill. There's a lot of people with some sales experience who are able to do about the same numbers as you. Maybe they'll do it a little bit less good as you, but eventually they'll get there, and that time that you're going to get back is going to be worth it. So that's the first thing. Then, who the is that? Wait. Okay, some people just walked into the garden. I don't know what And I was like, do I need to smack these guys or are they friendly? Okay, awesome. So the next thing, damn, bro, I was literally about to, like, I was ready to fight. I saw these guys walk into the garden. I was like, yo, what is this? So I'm like all pumped up with adrenaline right now. But it turns out that everything's fine, apparently. They started taking pictures of the cars as well. But I mean, that makes sense if you look at the cars that are here. Like there's a Lamborghini, Ferrari, a GT3 RS, I'm in a Turbo S, so makes sense. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let's continue the thing. So what we do next is we work out the SOPs for the things that take most time, right? Okay, yeah, so I just explained like the exact task that you are going to outsource first. Now, before we are actually going to outsource those things, we're going to document every single thing about it. So if it's a sales page, what we do is we start with building like out a sales script, every single task that you need to do on a daily basis, daily workflows, every single step that you take in order to acquire those customers, in order to actually work out everything with those people. Okay, so then step 5. What we're going to do next is we actually hire the people, right? So we set everything up. We know exactly what tasks we want to outsource. We know how to onboard them into taking care of that tasks and those responsibilities. We know exactly what they are going to do, how they're going to do it. They will know exactly what to do on a daily basis, how to execute on everything, right? And you also know what skill set the people need. So if it's like I just gave the example of sales calls, you can also do other stuff, obviously, right? So then you just hire those people and you'll gain back a lot of time. Right? So you first pick the things that have the most impact. We talked about it a little bit ago. Then the next step is just literally rinse and repeat to get yourself more and more time back. So you go on to the next task and you get more time back, onto the next, you get more time back, etc., until you're only responsible for a couple key things that actually matter most. And by the time you've done all of these things, you'll notice, like it'll take a couple of months probably, like 1 or 2 or 3 months, depending on how skilled you are. And by the end of those months, like, you will already have doubled or tripled your business. So the last thing, or actually the almost last thing, is you start optimizing and tweaking. So when outsourcing, obviously you need to stay on top of what everybody's doing. If they're executing perfectly, if everything is going right, you need to foresee if any problems are going to occur. So you really want to take care of the future somehow. Right? And when you have done this 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 times, you already know what problems are going to occur. So you can do everything way faster, way more efficient, etc. But when you're doing this for the first time, especially if you don't have a mentor or somebody like who is really like looking over your shoulder to take care of some stuff, you are going to make a lot of mistakes. And that's fine, because that's entrepreneurship, right? You're here to make mistakes and to learn, to improve and do it better next time. So that's the whole game. That's the whole journey. And then the last thing I really wanted to touch upon is that you stated inside of the comment that you feel like your people want you inside of the delivery when you are taking the sales calls. But things like these are literally just limiting beliefs. So get rid of that nonsense right away, please. Because just think about it. If that would be the case, then that would mean that you could never grow your business. And if you would never be able to grow your business, how are your competitors 10 times or 100 times as big as you? Like, they wouldn't be able to do that if there was somebody always needed inside of one department of the business. So that's just not the case. It's a limiting belief and you really need to get over that. I understand that it's a big step to take. I understand that it isn't easy to actually execute upon that and it feels scary, but that's the whole point. Every time you're doing something and you're like on the verge of doing something scary, that means that there's probably growth there. And it will be uncomfortable, it will be scary, and you will probably fuck up, but that's the name of the game. Like, if you are not ready for that, just take a job, right? So that's pretty much it. Is there anything else? No, that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. Now, if you are running into similar problems, then I hope this video really helps you a lot and will be able to double or triple your business. And if you're running into any more problems or you have more questions about the subject, just comment it down below, because I really do look at those comments and make new videos based upon those comments. So that's it for now. Have a nice day.